Hey guys, I'm MG, and today I'll be looking at Iron Man 2, which is a 2010 American superhero film, but is based on the comics with the same name, and it was also directed by returning director Jon Favreau and written by Justin Theroux. However, why don't we stop fooling around and review this film right now? So, you know how I liked the first Iron Man film? Well, I can't fully say that for the sequel. Some of the charm does return, like Tony Stark isn't quite as fun as before, but he is still fun enough, with an entertaining performance from Robert Downey Jr. Rhodey was quite intriguing in this film. I wish he had more to do and I wanted more from with Stark, but he was still enjoyable, with a charismatic performance from Don Cheadle, who was an excellent replacement for Terrence Howard. And the addition of Scarlett Johansson as a Black Widow was delightful. The performance was natural, and the character herself was endearing. I also liked the scenes with Nick Fury. They were really unnecessary, but the character was still solid, and Samuel L. Jackson was fun. The visual effects are really outstanding, even better than the first film, partially because we see them a lot more. The action sequences are inferior to the original, but they were still engaging. The racetrack fight was kinda tense, Stark and Rhodey fighting was fun, and the entire climax was the best part of the movie. The chase scene was investing, the fight in the facility was really cool, and the final fight in the garden was lacking in tension, but still perfectly decent. The music was also really catchy, and fitted the tone of the film really well. I also like how Happy contributed to the plot more. That was nice. But didn't I say I don't really like this film? Yeah, let's get back to that. I think my main issue is just how much they've thrown the story. Like, this film involves Stark trying to stop Vanko from blowing everyone up, Stark having issues with Rhodey and Pepper, giving us history about Stark's and Vanko's dad, Stark learning that his father loved him, Stark dying from poison, the government trying to steal the weapon, S.H.I.E.L.D. being involved for whatever reason, and it just throws so much in your face that doesn't feel nice. And even judging these stories on their own, it's still really not that interesting. Stark's conflict with Rhodey is extremely underdeveloped, with no emotional moments and barely any fun interactions between the two. Like, there's this scene where Rhodey leaves, and they try to make it sad, but how can I feel sad if they just had a silly fight? And the fact that Stark doesn't even think about Rhodey is just out of character for me. Pepper was also way too whiny and loud for my liking, even though Gwyneth Paltrow was solid. Plus, her romance with Stark doesn't make any sense. Like, she's basically mad at him for the whole film, and then seems completely chill when the threat is over. And how does that make any sense? Also, if being the CEO was stressful, why not quit straight away? The history with Stark and Vanko's dad is uninteresting because of how shallow it feels, and Stark realizing that his father loved him was probably the best storyline, with a good scene of his father telling him that he was his greatest creation, but they kinda just throw the storyline in because they feel like it. And it doesn't help that it only lasts for 5 minutes, so that's just a waste of time. Also, Stark dying from poison doesn't feel as dramatic as it should be, and it doesn't help that the pacing feels constantly rushed, with most of the scenes stopping so fast that it just feels weird when it goes to the next scene. And the villains were very unmemorable. Hammer was really boring, and while I like Sam Rockwell's performance, the character was just charmless. But his dance moves were funny, so I'll give him that. And the other villain, Ivan Vanko, has a cool character concept, and he does have a really smart plan, but I think the role was miscast when it went to Mickey Rourke. Now, I have nothing against him, and I'm sure he's a good actor, but his acting here wasn't really threatening, which is made even worse by the fact that Ivan doesn't affect the plot that much, which makes this villain less threatening than he could be. So overall, this is still a watchable enough film, and it was passable, but its problems are too big for me to call it good. 6.5 out of 10. Goodbye everyone, and thank you for watching. Bye.